Good morning. Today we're going to be tackling the ridiculous task of changing the spark plugs on the 2012 Dodge Journey. First things first, remove the cover. Alright, we've got this hose right here. Might as well take this one off first since it's the easiest to get to. There we go. And we have a couple electrical connectors up here. Looks like we have a safety on them. Little red tab has to be pushed out, and then we can remove the connector. This one's a little gray tab, same thing, and then it can be removed. A couple push tabs keeping those wires in there, so we'll just grab those and push them out. Now that the wires are out of the way, right over here there's a push tab. There's that push tab with the grommet on it. And then our air filter, it'll make it so we can disconnect the whole air unit and then disconnect the hose back here, and then this piece will just come right out. It'll be a lot easier that way. If you need to know how to take the air filter out, see my video in the description down below. Take a flathead screwdriver, undo the hose clamp, not all the way, just enough so you can get the air box out. Go. Now that gives us a bunch more room to get all these little bolts that we have to get out. So we got 10 mil down here, 10 mil down here. There's a 10 mil back here underneath this hose. There's an 8 millimeter right here. Another 8 millimeter right here. Another 8 millimeter right here. There's another 8 millimeter down here. That'll be fine. Just needs to move out of the way a hair. We got these two bolts removed. They're put in there a weird way. Okay, so we have the intake off. Now that we have the intake off, we can remove this little pad. There's a little gasket for that right there. 3 cylinders here, and we've got 3 cylinders back there that we need to get to. This engine's a lot bigger once you take it apart. Right here's a plug for the intake. Undo that one. And there's just a pressure release back here for this one. Alright. Now we have access to all 6 cylinders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 10 millimeter for each of the cylinders. And there's one of the ignition coils, 2 of the ignition coils, 3 of the ignition coils, and these are 5/8. Fits right in there, perfect. Oh yeah, there's not much of a point left on that one. That's close enough to 0.44. Those 3 are done. Let's put the ignition coils back in. And we'll bolt those down so we don't lose the bolts. Out of my way. That's gonna go back there. I'm just gonna set it back there for now because the 8 millimeter bolt that goes in here is right underneath that, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. So you can see right here our intake is a little bit dirty. It's got some grime on it. I'm gonna wipe that off with a rag. Anyway, I'm just cleaning it up. All right, that's about as clean as it's gonna get. Is this really necessary? So before you put this intake on, there's that padding that goes under here. Don't forget that like I did. All right, so before we bolt this down, I need to add these bolts back in, and they're gonna go into the brackets like this, and then they'll suck up into this piece here. Now this is what we gotta do. Gotta put this guy on here. Not happening today. For those of you following at home, there's 4 nuts, and I took the 2 bolts out from up here. Got the 2 nuts back up there, got the 2 bolts and the 2 nuts back up here. Intake manifold is on. Next, we need to insert all of the 8mm bolts. Those 7 8mm bolts are back in. Now time to put this gasket on. And that piece is gonna slide over the intake manifold. There we go. Then we add this guy here. Push it in. And a couple zip ties and we're good. Looks like I don't have any black ones, so blue ones are gonna have to do. Intake's a little tricky. You gotta feed it through this vacuum hose. You gotta feed it through all these hoses. This is what I'm trying to say. Get our flathead, tighten that down. Put this hose on. And I got a brand new filter I'm gonna put in. Where's that? Brand new filter in. I don't have any parts left, so. There we go. That's it. No check engine lights. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.